Hello and welcome to the very first Studio 10 live TV show. Tonight is all about you and the very inspirational Grace. And we are so excited to be here tonight because this is your chance to get up close and very personal with the lady herself.
Thank you.
So, first of all, we would like to thank everyone who's taken the time to send in an email with questions. We've had lots of questions come in, haven't we, Grace?
Loads.
Lots about your maybe your issues or how to use the products. But also, this is your chance to actually get to know Grace, the founder of Studio 10, herself. So if you haven't sent in your email yet, do not worry, because it's not late. It's not too late. This is a fully interactive show. So get your questions in, and we're going to monitor them, and we will get through as many as we can.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So, I'm very excited. As Katie said, this is our first TV show, one of many. And again, thank you everybody who sent questions in. We've got a really long list, and we're going to try so hard to get through all of them. So we're going to split the session into two halves. First half, Q&A, because quite a few people have asked about my inspiration for the range, but lots of product questions. We're going to do a step-by-step how-to really show you mature skin makeup in a minute. Doesn't need to be intimidating, doesn't need to be complicated. It's really quick and easy. And Katie is going to do it on herself live. So during the demo as well, please send questions, anything that comes to mind. We've got all our team moderators here, and we're going to answer as many live as we can.
And I'm actually a customer of Studio 10. I started using Studio 10 back in...
I'll pay you later.
I know, but this is truth. This is the truth. Back in 2018. So I've been around for ages. And I know that I have a number of the products, but maybe they've got more uses. They've got more way of using them. And I've actually learned a lot from speaking to Grace, even today. So we want to share all those top tips on how to get the most out of the products. There is a special treat for you all tonight as well. And while tonight, I know, Grace, this is not about selling. This is about getting to know Grace. I know, she's going to get all cringy. So this is not about selling. But if you do happen to want to buy something tonight, we do have a special discount code for everyone. And that is LIVE25. So you're going to get 25% off anything that you buy tonight or tomorrow. The offer expires tomorrow night at midnight.
It does. And that's across the whole range. So, but yes, thank you for doing that.
Yes.
But this is really about education, getting those questions answered. Any sort of beauty, and it doesn't necessarily need to be about makeup. It can be about skincare. It can be about beauty. It can be any question you like about me, Studio 10,
midlife,
positive aging, midlife, but not my love life.
Yeah, not yet. That's for a future program. So I mean, I think what bonded us really was our positive aging, pro-aging attitude, really. And I think that's what brought us together. But just before we get there, because we are going to cover that, if you have any questions on that, please do put them in the chat. So, Grace, let's start at the very beginning, because it's a very good place to start, as it said in The Sound of Music. So why... Can't help it, I'm just lyric queen. So why Studio 10? Why did you come up with this particular range of makeup?
Well, you know what? I was in my mid-40s, and it's a light bulb moment. You know how you have those moments? I wasn't using the skincare that I used in my 20s because my skin was different, the needs of my skin was different, my lifestyle was different. And I thought, well, why am I using the same makeup? So that was one reason. I wanted makeup that was formulated, designed for mature skin. Mm-hmm. When you're younger, makeup is very much about get the look, isn't it? Like celebrity, red carpet, get, on trend, get the look. And I was like, well, I don't use makeup like that. It was almost as though I needed makeup to do a job of work because my skin had changed from the texture to coloration, pigmentation. And it's a very powerful medium. That's the bit that I love about makeup, is it has the ability to transform. Yeah. And I do need a little bit more, work. So for me, it was a range specifically, and your skin really changes sort of 35, 36, it starts to change. Into my 40s, now into my 50s, into my 60s, into my 70s. So it's a range that's specific for mature skin, that does a job of work. also that's easy. I've never met a woman, actually, whether 18 or 80, who's not busy. So it had to be quick, had to literally have impact, makes a difference. So you can get up, put some makeup on and get on with your day. So quick fixes, easy to use. And I always say this, makeup is the confidence that you wear on your face. And, middle-aged women, we've all been there, we've all felt it. We start to feel a little bit invisible.
And also, I've certainly found in my 40s, it's the period of change that I've noticed more than at any other time in my life. And obviously, as a teenager, you change dramatically, but I don't think you're so aware of it. You're not, you're not paying attention all the time. You might look and go, oh God, I've got fresh spots. But apart from that, I've really found that my 40s has been the decade where I've gone, what is happening? And what is happening to my face? And oh my God, that wasn't there yesterday. And oh, was that mark there before? And the biggest thing for me is being drier skin.
Yeah.
Because as a teen, I had very greasy, oily, spotty skin. 20s, it all balanced out. 30s was perfect. And now 40s, I'm literally going reverse. We're going drier and drier.
Absolutely. So, and that is probably one of the number one things that I looked at when I formulated the products, because it's all Studio 10's jam-packed with these amazing skincare ingredients, and I put SPF, but actually the texture of the texture of the products, how it interacts with drier skin, and what happens as you age. We know you lose collagen, elasticity in the skin, so gets a little bit saggy and baggy, get fine lines, wrinkles, but hormonal changes, sebaceous glands, you're not producing as much oil. It's much harder for the skin to be hydrated, so therefore it's drier. And if you put the wrong makeup on dry skin, actually it can age you, and it can accentuate the problem areas like enlarged pores or fine lines and wrinkles. So getting the right formula is important, but getting the right texture and how it interacts with our skin as it ages, and dryness is a big issue. And you'll see when we talk through the products why I've chosen certain formats. So powder, I haven't chosen powders, I've chosen more cremes or liquids. Yeah,
absolutely. Okay, so we know you as the founder of Studio 10, but I've actually got to know you personally and probably related more to you once I got to know you as also a pro-age warrior. Okay, now I'm fully behind being a pro-age warrior. I'm there, I'm part of your army. But what would you do? What makes you so passionate about it? Why is it so important? Why are you a warrior for pro-aging, particularly women?
I loved Studio 10, as I said, and the transformation that makeup and that confidence boost. But for me, all the women I spoke to in their 40s and then going into the 50s, aging is such a negative. We are an ageless society, and ageism exists for men and women, but especially for women in the workplace. And I always say it's the last ism that we need to conquer. And when I started to analyse it and I spoke to more and more women, and I've had my own journey with it, you start to feel invisible. You're not as confident. You don't feel as attractive. You don't feel as relevant. So when we look at society, and especially for women, the association of beauty is linked to youth. So to be beautiful, you have to be young. So that leaves most middle-aged women, therefore, not being beautiful. And I was like, that doesn't feel right, because beauty is ageless. So why are we feeling negative about the aging process? Then I analysed it some more, and you look at the massive influences on society: film, music, fashion, the beauty industry. Let's talk about the beauty industry. Anti-aging, anti-wrinkle, anti-this, anti-anti.
Your youth.
We capture your youth. It's about being perfect, flawless. And I just thought that's perpetuating us feeling like that, and our need to be perfect. And I just thought this needs to change. So for me, pro-age, not anti-age. And you know what? All of us, we would like to be 10 years younger, wouldn't we? I mean, I see it in my skin, I see it in my body, I see it in my health. But the reality is, you cannot chase that. You'll never achieve it. All that energy that goes into that. And I just thought, you know what? We need to see age as beauty and beauty as age. And that's where the pro-age, so we don't use the word anti-aging. So that pro-age warrior is a movement. We need to change. If you think about what we need to change, the words that we use, the negative rhetoric, like anti-aging, anti-wrinkle. We need to celebrate age. We need to wear it proudly. Then you start looking at ads, you know, the beauty industry. And if the beauty industry, if you're watching, I want you to take note. Let's promote an anti-wrinkle cream and use a 25-year-old model.
Don't get me started.
And you're a model, you're a presenter and a model. So where are the older models and role models in the ads by the very brands trying to sell to us? So that's another dynamic. And I just thought it's creating this negative rhetoric that we are putting pressure on ourselves.
Exactly. But you know what's happening with me now? And it started very early in my 40s. I remember sitting in the hairdresser, opening up a magazine and seeing exactly what you said. A beautiful beauty ad, I can't even remember what it was for, some cream or makeup or whatever. And it was a young 20-year-old woman. And I was just, it blew my mind. For the first time, you know, for years, you turn these ads, you go, oh yes, lovely, oh I might buy that, that looks good. For the first time in my early 40s, I went, I don't want this. And now it actually puts me off a brand. And if I see anti-aging, it puts me off a brand. We need to turn the words on its head and be more positive.
100%.
So, following on from that, and this is my own personal question.
Oh, here we go.
Because these are some of my real bugbears. And as soon as I see them used or heard, I am either put off a brand or put off a person. I know it's harsh, but I am. So, you get to ban one of my bugbears. Which one would it be? Okay, you've got the choice of, do we ban, funnily enough, the phrase anti-aging?
Well, that'd be one, obs.
Okay, so 2, can we ban the phrase for your age? Because if a woman is beautiful, if she looks gorgeous on a particular night, if she looks elegant, if whatever she looks, don't say she looks beautiful for her age. Just say she looks beautiful, full stop. So that's my second one. And then the third one is the photoshopping of older ladies. And well, actually, not always the older ladies, any ladies that are used to promote beauty or makeup brands. Because to me, they are just falsifying promises. And I have been there. I am that customer, and I have spent thousands of pounds probably over the last 20 years fooled by this advertising. And I don't want to be. I want a realistic view. So you've got the choice to ban the 3 of those things. Which one would you ban?
I could turn this back on you and say, what do you think I'm going to say? But I'm going to say all 3. Anti-aging, I think, should be banned, full stop. It's such a negative word. And not just for us. It's not about making ourselves feel better. It's not self-serving. I've got 3 daughters. You know, so they're, you know, in their teens, early 20s. I don't want them to feel they have to be worrying about wrinkles and looking their age and what does age look like. The second one, you know, for your age, again, I think it should be banned. You know, you look amazing. Oh my goodness, are you really that old? You look amazing for your age. It's actually quite insulting. You just look beautiful, or you look amazing, or you're incredible. Not for your age, because any age is incredible.
You've reminded me, sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I once got... So I've got this Instagram account, and I once got this young man, I think he was in his young 20s, and he slid into my DMs, I think is what it says. And he went, "You are so beautiful for your age. Even I would date you." Oh. And I was like, oh, and the thing was, he thought he was complimenting me. And I was like, with one fell swoop, you've just totally insulted me. So yes, sorry, I didn't. You've reminded me of that. Totally.
So the third one, photoshopping. Again, I ban it because, you know, if you've got good lighting, you are who you are. And especially if you're promoting a product or you're promoting, it should be realistic. You know, been in marketing, you know, my whole life, been 15, 16 years in product development in the makeup industry, but before that I was in marketing, and it's all fabricated. It's not real. You're selling dreams, and that's all fine. We all need to be inspired, and we want brands that are aspirational, but they have to be realistic. They can't make you feel bad about yourself.
Yes.
And that, for me, the whole photoshopping, and I don't think it's just, you know, in terms of older models.
No, that's what I said.
I think it's across the board, and it's fashion and it's music and it's celebrities. They're photoshopped for magazine covers. It's so unrealistic, and what it does is it creates an expectation that we want to aspire to, whether you're 60 or whether you're 16, and that is wrong, because how it makes you feel if you don't achieve that, and it's not just age, it's body size, it's height, it's all of those things, creates a negative rhetoric in your own mind that you are not good enough. And that is a really sad but unhealthy way. And I think women feel that more. I think women put more pressure on ourselves to be perfect. The perfect wife, the perfect friend, the perfect body shape, the perfect this, the perfect. And you know what? Perfect doesn't exist. So I'd ban all three.
Okay, that's fine. So if I
all
was
of them.
Yeah, if I was now in room 101, I'd be like putting them in the thing. Right, they're all gone. No one can use them ever again.
And you know what? With that, which is interesting, in those adverts, I wrote an article a couple of years ago about a major fashion, makeup, beauty brand, right? Global brand, using Cara Delevingne in an ad. And it was really interesting because it was for an anti-wrinkle cream. And when I looked at it, and I was almost insulted. I thought, you know what? I'm a mature, sophisticated, not really, intelligent woman, and you're advertising a product to me and thinking that I'm going to buy into that, that A, I shouldn't have wrinkles, B, I'm going to look like Cara Delevingne. And let me tell you, there is no lotion or potion in the beauty world that is going to take your wrinkles away to look like Cara Delevingne. And I found it I found it insulting, but it made me so angry.
Absolutely.
And then what was interesting, because the other thing I was going to say is older models being represented in ads, and not just the beauty industry, across the board. I was like, why don't we have more older models in ads? And then I started to look at, you know, now I'm in my 50s. It doesn't mean every ad I come into contact with has to be a model of my age. It just needs to be authentic and it needs to be real. So if it was Cara Delevingne promoting a lipstick colour that was on trend for the season, then I'd find that inspiring. I was like, oh yeah, I quite like that colour. So it needs to be authentic and it needs to be real. But I want to see more aging models, and the beauty industry's shifted. So now, like, L'Oreal's using Julianne Moore and like amazing Hollywood, Julia Roberts, Kate Winslet's just been signed up. But when you look at those photos and you look at those ads, because I'm there with my eagle eye, I'm like, they're so photoshopped. Kate Winslet doesn't look like that.
Although apparently she did have a word with people, didn't she? You know her latest drama, Mayor of...
I haven't seen that yet.
I haven't
really
watched
want to see that.
But I did hear that there was something where she actually sent the photo back, the promotion photo, and said, I've got more wrinkles than that, put them back in. So fair play to her if that really happened, because that's what we need more of.
Absolutely.
Because I always think, when I think of role models and aging role models, I can name about 4 people. You know, it's Helen Mirren.
Me.
Well, I wish it was me.
Me and then you. That's it, 4 of us.
But... you know, it's Helen Mirren, Judi Dench. Helen Mirren, Judi Dench. Do you know what I mean? Those are the faces that you see a lot. And I just think we need... people say these are the invisible years. But I think it's invisible, not just how we feel internally. I think...
absolutely. We are invisible by big brands, by society. And then we perpetuate it. Exactly.
Who has the money? It's actually generally our generation. So sell to us, and you know, as I say, I'm now being turned off by these brands who aren't selling to me. So anyway, yes, I could actually talk about this for such a long time. So, but let's get round. So I just want to say, for anyone who's joined us since we started, we are here tonight. We're so pleased that you've come and joined us. We're here with Grace, who is the founder of Studio 10 Makeup, and we're talking all things beauty industry, advertising, and then in a short while we're actually going to do a 4-step simple makeup demonstration. And I'm actually going to be doing that, and I am no makeup pro. So believe me, if I can do it, then anybody can. Okay.
And we're also going to answer, because we've had loads of amazing ladies. Thank you so much for sending your questions. We've had a lot of product questions, a lot of beauty questions. So as we do the demo, you know, how do I deal with enlarged pores, or, you know, hooded eyelids? I'm going to work that into the demo so everybody can see, and we'll answer as many of those. And if anybody's got any questions right here, right now, we've got a whole team here, loads of mods, just tap them in, or if you want to say hi, say hi. Tap them in and we'll make sure we answer them in the second half.
Yes. Okay, but just before we get on to that, right, one question was, what do you see when you look in the mirror? Now, I think this is quite a loaded question.
Yeah, did this come from you?
No.
Is this another
No, this isn't. But it could have been, because I have my good days and I have my bad days. So the question was, what do you see when you look in the mirror?
Okay, do you know what? That's a really interesting question. Yeah. So when I used to look in the mirror, my natural sort of negative bias is to look at all the things I don't like, all the things I'm not happy with, all the things that I want to change, and my age. And I think that's our bias. And I don't think it all comes from us. I think I get very passionate about this, you know, society and this ageist society that we live in, and it's not embraced here, it's not celebrated here. So it's all negative, negative, negative. And what I've really had to work hard is to switch it, to see the beauty. And it's not that I'm some supermodel, but see the beauty that I have, that we all have, and it's beauty on the inside and it's the outside. But it's a mind shift, because it's so easy to look in the mirror and go, oh, I've got another age spot, and I've got, you know,
that's a bit deeper than it was.
Exactly, but all those things, because aging brings those things. Yeah. So I work hard. So now, as I said, I look at the beauty that I have on the inside and the outside, and it's almost like an affirmation. Beauty is ageless, and I'm just as beautiful, I'm just as relevant, and I'm just as gorgeous as my younger counterparts. Yeah. And there's value. I think the key thing is that there's value in that, and it has a place, and we are relevant. And you know what? We're not invisible.
Yeah. Do you think that is something that we have to work at? Like we exercise, like I exercise almost daily to try and keep my body healthy, and, you know, I try and eat healthily, and I do all this. But don't get me wrong, there are days when I look in the mirror, or the worst thing, you know, when you open up your phone, it's in selfie mode, and you go, oh my God, who the hell is that? You know, I have those days, I'm not going to lie. And I do know that our brain naturally defaults to the negative.
Absolutely, that we have a negative bias.
You know, that comes from our medieval self or whatever that needed to look out for all the dangers. So I know
it keeps us safe. It's a survival instinct. It keeps us safe. But it's no
good for us.
No.
So, but would you recommend to actually try and practice this? Like, and I'm not saying stand in front of your mirror every day and go, "You are beautiful, Katie."
Yeah, but do you know what? There are times, because it is a mindset, and the negative rhetoric, that negative storytelling, you can change it. It's been proven. There's been loads of, you know, so the sort of power of the affirmation, I actually think works. Right. So rather than, and what I find quite interesting, if you were talking to a friend and you were saying, oh, I don't feel great today, I'd be like, but you look amazing. Like your skin, you're bright, blah, 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 blah. You don't talk to a friend the way that we talk to ourselves. Never. So I think reprogramming those negative, because the negative rhetoric or conversation, things that we tell ourselves, it makes us feel bad, and it makes us feel maybe insecure or invisible. The feelings that come with it are negative, and I don't want any, and this is where I get really passionate, and for myself and you know, my children and the next generation, I don't want anybody to feel bad about the age, that they're not beautiful or they're not good. And that's what it all stems down to, that feeling of not being or feeling good enough. And I don't want that. I think it's sad, and I'm passionate about it being wrong.
No, absolutely. So we need to work hard.
So maybe we need to create a Studio
Yeah.
10 affirmation.
Yeah. And perhaps we could have like a group thing. We all come together at 6 a.m. in the morning and chant and feel beautiful about
It's either that or drink loads more Prosecco.
That
always makes me feel better.
That one is easier. Okay. I am aware that we are we're using up a lot of our question and answer time.
I know, we've got to do makeup.
Oh, we've still got makeup to do. So, let me just see from the... Oh, I've got 2 crackers. So which one do I go with? I'm going to go with, because I think we could have we could have a whole conversation about this another time. Maybe in the future we'll come back with another edition of this show. So, do you think that we have to age gracefully?
I wanted to know who asked that. I think, well, gracefully, obviously. Yes. I'm going to grow old gracefully, or maybe disgracefully. It's interesting because I do get asked this a lot. You know, if you're pro-age, what does that mean? Dyeing your hair, growing old gracefully? Do you have surgery, Botox, whatever? And for me, and I think for Studio 10, is there's no right or wrong way to age, right? You do you. Absolutely. You do what's right for you because it's for you, not what society says, not what's expected, because it's right for you. And not my caveat, but what goes with that, without any judgment. Yeah. Oh, so there's so much judgment. Yeah. It's like, oh, why have you dyed your hair? It makes you look 20 years older. Or why are you dyeing your hair? You shouldn't be if you're pro-age.
I had that. Yeah.
It's so, there's no right or wrong way. You do you without that judgment. So and you know what's interesting is, you know, a really, really good girlfriend of mine, she's 90% grey now, and she's had her hair cut into this really amazing sort of bob. It's very structural. I have to tell you, she looks stunning. It suits her. She's and it's weird because she's rocking it. She's just found herself.
I was going to say, has she got a boost of confidence?
She's got a boost of confidence, and she feels it's right for her. She looks stunning. That's right for her.
Yes.
My mum, bless her, into her early 80s was still dyeing her hair. Yeah. And I think, well, do what you want to do without the judgment. Yeah. And I think that's the key.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that, because I think that's really important, and it's a very personal choice, basically, isn't it?
Yeah. So. And actually, as women, we should support other women in the choices that they've made for them. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Can we just quickly cover that? I mean, I don't know how many people who are watching tonight are on Instagram or other social media, and I think generally we've got ourselves in quite a positive space where I find other women are very so supportive, so loving, so caring. I actually go on Instagram for a boost of love and affection. It's a wonderful space. However, I actually did see a number of my Silver Sister friends recently who've been complaining that they get a shed load of abuse. They get a lot of support from each other, and it's a wonderful, uplifting, supportive place. But then from other people, from strangers who literally don't bother, like they don't hold back. They literally go, oh, God preferred you before, you've aged 15 years, da, da, da. And I'm like, and I'm sorry, I have more of a problem when it's a woman having a go at a woman.
I have a problem if it's a man or a woman.
Well, I do have a problem, but I have more of a problem when it's a woman. I'm like, no, support the woman.
Well, I guess it's disrespectful, isn't it? And I always say that whole troll, which is another conversation, but trolling and social media, and I always have this sort of phrase that if you would you say that to the person directly to their face? No, you wouldn't. So what gives you the right to do it online? I mean, I a couple of years ago did an amazing tour with Patsy Kensit. She was turning 50. She's gorgeous woman, and we put loads of images up. And someone actually on social media said she has more plastic in her face than in the sea. And I just thought that's disrespectful. Yeah. It's so rude and unacceptable. Yeah. And I just thought that's funny enough the side of social media that I don't
Yeah, I don't see that but I don't see that so much personally, but I do know it's out there.
It exists, yeah.
I am going to interrupt you because we have got some questions from the chat. So we are going to go over to Sian with an update from
Sian!
Lovely questions. Actually, one that was really pertinent was Floss 60. She's 61. She's just transitioning into her silver box babe, and she wants to update her makeup accordingly because obviously, you know, her skin tone has changed, her hair colour is changing. So what would you recommend?
That's a really, really good question. And if you're transitioning, then when you go to full grey, there's two things that need to change. One is hairstyle, because you want to make the most of that beautiful grey hair. So hairstyle needs to change, and also makeup, because your hair reflects your skin tone and your skin tone blends with your hair colour. So as a general rule, and I don't want to be a generalist, but actually you wear a little, not more makeup, you wear stronger, slightly bolder colours.
Yeah.
So you might accentuate the eyes a little bit more, you might wear a bolder colour on the lip. Yeah, so really good question.
Also, another one, Liguri 5472. Best way to use plumping blush properly, and that's come up a couple of times actually.
Oh, well, we've had lots of questions about the plumping blush. So in the next section, that's one of the step-by-steps in how to use the plumping blush and get the most of it. And also, you know, like Mandy, one of the questions that came in I thought was quite interesting. So using the blush is very much a complexion boost, pick me up, but can I use bronzer and blush at the same time? So yeah, we'll cover that. Margaret, I know what I didn't know about Margaret is what skin tone, and I hope you're watching, because if you are, just drop Sian a message, because she said that she felt the blush was too peachy.
Okay.
What could she mix with it? But because I don't know her skin tone, so we're going to cover a lot off on the blush. That doesn't sound very articulate, but anyway.
Are there any more, Sian?
Oh yeah, lots. There's also, can you, when you go through the makeup, can you also kind of do some sort of tips on using the eyebrow pencil? Emily finds that a little tricky. Also, Julie says, dark circles, help please.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of my things. That's one of my things. So I'm asking for that as well. Yes, we will have some of that. Yeah.
Great.
And do you want some more? There's plenty.
Let's have two more, and then we'll get
onto the makeup.
Yes. Let's play makeup.
Yes. Sorry, what's the best illuminator? How can you create that glow? Which is your forte.
It is. So a couple of, I was going to say rules, and I don't like rules, because rules need to be broken. Yeah. But radiance, luminizers, a little thing, if you're looking, obviously we've got an amazing one, but I think what's key when you're looking at those products, two things. One is the format, the texture. A lot of luminizers, radiance, highlighters tend to be powder. So with powder, you only can put it on top of the skin. So for me, and powders sit on the skin, they don't blend and buff into the skin. So I would look for liquids or cremes, and then it gives you much more usability, because you can mix it with your tinted moisturizer or foundation, you can wear it under foundation. Yeah. So liquid or creme. And then a lot of highlighters are quite stroby, and that's deliberate because you want that sort of stroby effect. But on aging skin, it looks too artificial.
Is that if they've got like silver pigments?
And most highlighters have silver.
I know it. And that's like when someone takes a photo and you get the white thing, or you get the white under your eyes or whatever. However, I do know Studio 10.
Yeah, we use a soft gold undertone because it's much more skin based than what I was looking for and actually all of the light reflecting pearl or shimmer that I use across the board is a gold undertone because it just gives that lit from within radiance. I don't want that heavy stroby highlighty look. It just doesn't suit aging skin. So yeah, that's my little tip on choosing luminizers.
Okay. Well, I've just had my colours done. And luckily, I was told that I should always go for golden toned stuff. So I was like, well, that's brilliant, that's perfect. I was reading all that up and I was going, that's fine because my makeup's all got gold tones in. That's great. So shall we get on with the makeup?
Yeah, let's play makeup.
Okay, so the first thing I need to do is just pop to the side for a minute. I'm going to take my makeup off so you're going to get the full effect. And I will leave you in the capable hands of Grace.
Yeah, I'm really excited. So please keep sending your questions through. Anything to do with product, even just beauty advice, skincare. We're going to cover that all off in the next section.